which is what the roots of were for the 300s, but the world's gone, so it's the manufacturers that have helped to drive the growth of this 300 class, and the 250s will probably, as they are here, will be in their dwindling numbers because there's not being any new 250s made that fits the specification of these bikes. So if you're buying a new one of these, you're going now to the 300. Kawasaki, Yamaha, Honda are now doing it. The Honda is only really, I think there's models only just come out in late 2017, so expect to find that on the racetracks next year. So here we are with this fantastic new Supersport 300 Championship under starters orders. We've got the camera on the start as well to pick up any of these jump starts, so we're all doing it with the lights. 3, 4, 5 of them, and then they go out, and then we get a start. We've got a nice start. Oh, there's a little bit too much front wheel in the air on that occasion, so check that out. 83 of Regan Phipps out there. That's the Red Baron R3 to try and get a good start, courtesy of Biggles Racing. He's a very busy man on the racetrack today for Regan, and we actually had some trouble with his transponder in the earlier racing, so that made it difficult to pick him up. But once that was clarified, we certainly know we've got Regan back on board, a capable pilot, and Team Biggles Racing back to delight. And as always with Biggles, bright colours. Wouldn't have it any other way for Team Biggles Racing, would we, Spider? You always pick them up in the pits greater than many other teams.
Oh yeah, look at that Regan Phipps bike. In fact, the one out in the front there, I think it's number 88, right out in the front there. Now, who will that be? That's
Dennis who?
Sorry?
Dennis who?
Yeah, I didn't catch it, sorry. It's Dennis Charlotte, is it? Well, yes. Is he riding in number 88? Yes, it is indeed. We've got 2 pages there. So look at the colour of those bikes, and as we saw with Avalon Biddle, and even the Underground Brown Triumphs, they were so easy to pick. Of course, a bit harder when you've got 2 Underground Brown Triumphs on the thing. What is interesting is there's 3 Goddards out there, dad and 2 daughters. Now, it's a long time, well, it's not a long time since...
Son, daughter.
Dad and 2 sons, sorry.
No, son and daughter.
Yep, you're right there.
Yep,
yes, son and daughter. Yes, I'm a bit confused here.
Yeah, that's right. That's fine.
Early in the day.
He'd prefer if it was 2 daughters, but Josh got a different idea about that.
Well, yeah. Anyway, they are running both the number 38 bikes there. Normally, you'd get Kevin on 37 and Josh on 38, but it looks like there's been a backup bike there, so there is a bit of confusion there. Olivia's also running number 37, but she's in a different class. You'll notice the number board colours are different for these 2 classes as well. So the 250 production and the 300 lightweight have different coloured number boards, so we'll highlight that shortly. What is that? 36, 37 competitors. 36 lined up for the start line. That is healthy in New Zealand motorcycle racing.
Yeah.
Dennis Charlotte on the 88 in second spot there, Neil.
Well, there we go. In fact, Dennis putting it all on at the moment, so we know, and we've been talking about him, how good this motorcycle is, and that's exactly what he's proving at this stage, how good it is, because we've put New Zealand's best motorcycle pilot on board, and I say that in all fairness to any others that are currently racing. But this man, of course, has been there 2 times New Zealand Superbike champion, and once he got to the top, he said, well, actually, no, there is another way to go. Start it all over again, because, of course, this class wasn't around when Dennis Charlotte was doing 600s and Superbikes, and that's why he says he just wants to do more motorcycle riding. And now, as a family man, lovely wife Angela and 2 kids, and motorcycle business, Budget Motorcycle Spares, you don't necessarily have the time to commit to making a big bike expedition onto racetracks, and being the proud president of Motorcycling Canterbury as well, lead by example, and just show that you can be in the class where all the journeymen start, and many of those that are first timers out of bucket racing can come and join our family on these kind of bikes. So love the ambassadorial role, the leadership role, and the command and respect in the sport that this man has. And if you don't know Dennis Charlotte, make it your mission this weekend to find out, particularly Canterbury. He's proud to call this home, of course. And now the proud proprietor at Budget Motorcycle Spares, your other favourite motorcycle shop here in Canterbury. So check out Superstar Dennis, leading by example out there with a great run. The other one, of course, is Dave MacArthur, and we're going to keep an eye on Dave's racing this weekend, because if anybody can make a bike go fast, it is certainly this man. So keen to find out. Sorry, Tim, my apologies, Tim MacArthur. I'll get the name right in the end, so well done to Tim. The Rangiora man on the tyrewarmers.co.nz, racesupplies.co.nz, KSS suspension machine. So check out Tim MacArthur. So we're going to have 39s and 38s and 37s blurring us with their exploits on a racetrack. So Spider, keen to update as we look to this class, but exactly as the 300 showed last year, very close racing.
Oh yeah, I've got a photo on my screenshot on my phone somewhere of a race down in Invercargill where we were white yellow flag out there at turn 1, where we had 3 guys cross the line somewhere through this race down at Teratoma. 2 were on matching lap times to 1,000ths of a second, and another one was 1,000ths of a second off. A lap later there was 4,000ths of a second gap difference between them, and we can see that through the field here as well as we see Dennis Charlotte in the lead. Now I've got to correct what I said earlier on. I looked on the front row, I thought there was 2 number 38s, but it is actually a legendary Tim MacArthur back out on number 39. So bikes look almost identical. Indeed, they're both from Dunedin. So I said there was 37 and 38. We now have the qualifying sheets here in front of us, and we can give you that information. But Reagan Phibbs is hot on the trail of Dennis Charlotte. Now, Dennis Charlotte is New Zealand Superbike champion, former New Zealand Superbike champion. The year before that, he won the 600s. He won the Pro Twins as well, and he wants the Super Light, and he's also won the 300 lightweight as well. So absolutely a legend. He won the 300
and 125s and the days of the 250 as well. The day of the when we had 125 GP class and a 250, he had a Yamaha TZ 250 that he won the title on. People like the Wellington man Anthony's name worked at the railway.
Big tall guy.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
I know the guy you mean.
But anyway, yes. So that's another attribute. So here's a class, or a rebranding of a class that he wants to take a victory in. The other one, of course, has been the Super Light. That's the one that he tried to make a bike last year, and I think understand it was sort of became in all politeness a hand grenade, and it was blowing up more than it wasn't. So he was, I think, going to put in some efforts into a more of a production-based class rather than just try and put all his resources into making another bike like that, Spider.
Oh, look, coming across the start-finish line, it's all about slipstreaming in the smaller class like that, even the bigger classes. But I'll tell you what, it looks like Dennis Charlotte's just got that little bit of an edge and opens up a bike length or two. I would have thought the slipstream would goggle that up. Now, Dennis is on. Dennis on number 88 is on a Kawasaki. Reagan Phibbs on 83 is on a Yamaha R3. I also see a KTM 390 in the top three. In fact, I think it might be in third place. He didn't quite catch the number. So, yes, that's a silhouette of two KTMs in third and fourth. So there's three completely different bikes. Now, it's a 300 lightweight class. Yes, these two front bikes are twin cylinder 300s, and then you've got the 390 in behind, which is a single cylinder. So this explains the CC difference. We go to the Supersport 600 we've just had, and there are 675 triples out there. So it's a 600cc4 and a 675 triple. And of course, you see on the track, they're almost identical. Four bikes out in the front, three different brands out in the front.
All right, here we go. Keen to update again, and we've been talking about Tim MacArthur's excellence in racing, and Tim trying to nudge his way there. But look out for young Josh coming through, folks. Yes, indeed, Spider was talking before about the 37-38, so look for the 37 of Josh Goddard, courtesy of Otago Motorcycle Club, Trevor Pierce, Yamaha Race Supplies, Tyre Warmers, Moto Extreme, Dynoworks, Photo CD, Sign Print, Tim MacArthur and Mum and Dad. So look out for Josh. He's then the next one. I think he's going to head that group through in about that. See, there's a 4 gap 4, so I think I picture him to be at the front of that group, probably about 6th place. So look for Josh. We'll get a better update as they come through across the line this time. So great to watch the bike battles going on there. In fact, not just great, it's fabulous around the Rock FM sweeper going as we take the charge here at the moment. I'll tell you what, never over till it's over, and this kind of racing is just the perfect epitome of seeing similar kind of bikes racing against each other. 300 racing, you've seen it on World Superbikes. It's happening here in New Zealand Superbikes, right here in beautiful Ruapuna. Dennis Charlotte, the ambassador of New Zealand road racing, taking charge and leading out there in a great run at the moment. Keeping an eye as well on your man Dean Watson, who we were able to borrow the bike for Rogan Chandler from last year. Nice to see that Dean's made it back this year. He's had a bit of bad luck over the last couple of years, so nice to, hopefully he'll be able to put together a race performance. I can't even see Tim in that top group now, and I've been talking about him, but he's not even in that group for my money. I'm wondering whether is that the yellow flag? I don't know, because wasn't he there before and we've lost him? But anyway, let's go to Reagan Phibbs, Dennis Charlotte, Brendan Booth, and then Gavin Veltmeyer. Now Gavin Veltmeyer, of course, this is a completely different bike. He's got a bike that he's built. It started its life as an SV650, but it doesn't look anything like that other than it's still got a V-twin engine in it that he's used for the Suzuki series. But when it comes to production racing, although he's a mechanic at Suzuki's principal dealer Coleman's on K Road in Auckland, he comes back to ride the KTM. So keen to see how he's going to perform on that bike. So there you go, to doing the whole Suzuki series on one bike, Spider, change it to a bike that's actually got less power and put it together. But once you've got a quality pilot like Gav on board, there he is, 4th place, and on one of those 390s you were talking about before.
Oh, he'll have a Superlight bike out there as well in the pits to contest that challenge. Interesting. Is that a change of lead? Is that a change of lead? Yes, indeed. Oh, change back.
Oh, inside, outside. How good was that?
Yeah, and there's no better pilot around here than Dennis Charlotte, but on that corner going into it, Reagan Phibbs got ahead but swapped again. So Dennis Charlotte for the crowd on 88, on that beautiful 88, the orange bike, and in behind him is Reagan Phibbs on the beautiful yellow bike, 88 and 83. 83 on the yellow bike, and not far in behind him there, I think, is that Nick Kane in 3rd place? No, sorry, I'm looking at the next screen now.
No, I think it's Brent Jacobs.
Brent Jacobs, yes. Yeah, interesting too. The 1 to 10 generally are numbers are assigned for the people in last year's New Zealand Championship. For the next season, we've got in 5th place last year's New New Zealand champion, Andy McLaughlin. A bit distant from the lead pack there, but certainly a good showing there in 5th place. So have the others moved forward as he's just struggling this weekend? It's all a bit of a mixed bag as we've got 3 laps to go here in the lightweight 300 class. The other thing we talked about, Tim McCarthy, mate, he dominated 250 production, bringing his 125 GP skills there a couple of seasons. I think 3 seasons ago, he had one crash, and it was after the finish line at Hampton Downs, and he was just a country mile ahead and wasn't out last season. Is he a little rusty, or is there something going on? But this is where we can have the mix of the people with such small CC bikes. You can get swallowed up in the group and almost disappear when one other day you were right out in the front.
Yeah, there we go indeed, and I'm keen to watch out for this man Brendan Booth as well. Brendan on the Label X Budget Motorcycle Spares Race Supplies, Smash Palace, Christchurch Motorcycle in Canterbury, supported KDMRC 390. He's the best, I think, of those KDM 390s at the moment. So if you were to put these bikes together purely on a dyno Spider, I think you'll find the Kawasaki probably is a fraction down on all of them, but put the country's best small bike pilot on board, and Dennis Charlotte, at politely now over 45 years of age, and we won't sniggle about any age above that. There you've got a great winner on a smaller, lesser supported bike, so great to watch. And Regan battling every bit there with him on that team. Red Baron Motorcycles, Biggles Race Team, R&R Power Sports, Hamilton Motorcycle Club, Baz, along with Moto Academy New Zealand, Metzler Tyres and Ender Islander.
Wow, how tight is that coming onto the front straight? We've still got the 88 in the front, followed by 83, and in behind them is one of those KTMs that's absolutely on fire. That is the number 7 machine, and 7 is Brendan Booth there, of course. Just still trying to get used to the numbers with Gavin Veltmeyer. So with 7 laps, I think 8 laps down into a 10-lap race. I have to still go do my homework on that. Only got a program not too long ago. But anyway, we're way into this race, and look how tight it is. It's almost they were almost as tight as that there coming out of turn 1 in the first race, first lap of the race there, Neil Ritchie.
Well, Spider, of course.
Hang on, we've got to change of position there. Reagan Phibbs has been shunted down to 3rd place. So Brendan Booth, I get that maybe Reagan's made a bit of an error, or maybe that Brendan Booth's been following around for so long he's found a weak spot or a spot he can get through.
Well, the other thing too, Spider, is we've renamed this class. It was lightweight production. Does that mean that we've now got, with 300, have we now got new lap times, or are we taking the lap times from lightweight 300 production?
No, the rules are the same.
So they are the same.
Rules are the same. They've just.
So the time Regan Phipps had the lap record here at 1:46.7, and Dennis Charlotte's done a 1:47 neat. So he's only 0.3 off the lap record. In the cooler conditions of today, that is fantastic. Look for that lap record to be broken tomorrow, for my money.
It's not so much about that. It's about the wind, Neil. That's incredible. But the wind is a crosswind. So where's that affecting us? Round the big flex sweeper that. Yeah, that wind that's incredible. I didn't expect us to get that close, but that shows you how much these boys have improved over the year in their race preparation of that. We see them down into the dipper there. 2 laps to go. Dennis Charlotte in the front. There's probably 6-7 bike lengths back to
that's bigger now.
Reagan Phibbs. He's got back up to 2nd place. So he was over to the hairpin there. He'd been relegated to 3rd or a little bit earlier than that, but now he's back in 2nd place. Then it is Brendan Booth there in 3rd. Gavin Veltmeyer, Andy McLaughlin, Josh Goddard, Grant Ramage, Sam Golder, Kevin Goddard. Oh, look at that, dad ahead of son. Josh about 3 places ahead of his son, his father.
Yeah,
that happened last season too, didn't it?
We saw the breakthrough happen last year, Spider, where for the first time Josh was able to beat Kevin. Put money on it for me. Unless something goes wrong with Josh, I think he'll do it in every race this year. So good to see. Watching your live timing updates courtesy of CTAS Live, and also, of course, the video streaming as well with a great run. You've got a remote camera position which picks a bike up from a distance. You can see this massive run around here, and great to watch. We've actually got a
red flag situation.
Thank you, Spider.
Red flag, yeah, no, I just looked up to...
One off there, but that doesn't look to be any drama.
No, we got the binoculars over there, so we got... where did we lose those binoculars? All right, that's... well, I'll tell you what, folks, that will be called, because the MNZ rules require